Hey, all right, everybody, let's just get right into it. Let's talk about the Ahsoka season 2 announcement. So I'm actually glad that's happening, but at the same time, who's going to replace the actor for Baylan Skoll now? Who's replacing Ray Stevenson? Are they gonna I mean, let me tell you what they can do. They can do a whole bunch of back shots until, let's say he finds Abeloth or something like that and then gets consumed by it, which it means this is the most appropriate route to go right now if we want to preserve Ray Stevenson as the main actor for it. Um, I mean, I'm not too sure, but I'm definitely interested about Thrawn's journey. I mean, Thrawn's gonna do some work, but I mean, how much can he do because of the 7, 8, and 9, it's clear that he's not there. So we are going to see what's going to happen, but I'm really interested to see how it goes about. A couple of points I noticed when they said they were making way to Dathomir. I know that's because of the Night Sisters and all that, but I can't help to think Rancor base was there. If anyone follows the Star Wars legends and all of that, Zinch's empire had established Rancor base there, right over Dathomir. So I know that. I hope that there's something to do with warlords and Zinch or something to do with Zinch. I mean, Dave Filoni has done such a great job with the references. The HK droids, although I wish they were a little bit more formidable, it's definitely cool bringing the HKs back into the mix. What was the other thing I was gonna say? Ahsoka and Sabine are stuck where Ezra was originally stuck. I can't wait to see Ezra's journey. Ezra, the character was just so well done. They have some of the greatest actors out there right now just doing their thing. I speaking of actors doing great things, I just heard that The Mandalorian is going to make a movie. They're going to have a movie for The Mandalorian, which I think is the best way to put an end to the series. I think it's what better way to do it than go off with a classic movie. End it on a high note. I'm really looking forward to it. I think that it's going to be really good, and I think that it's different when you have to write a whole season's worth of story as opposed to a movie story. So I think that they'll be able to have a lot compact with a big punch, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think The Mandalorian has been a great, great, great thing for Star Wars. It's brought a lot of eyes over. I remember before The Mandalorian, the only time I really referenced Mandalorian, I mean Boba Fett, Jango Fett, but really was Canderous Ordo from Knights of the Old Republic. I mean, that armor from those Crusaders was just some of the best and most iconic armor for me growing up as a kid. I mean, just some of the greatest, some of the greatest. I mean, I used to play that game all the time, and I also have it on here on YouTube if anybody wants to check it out. I recommend people actually, if you really want to check it out, get the game and play it. I think it's one of the greatest experiences of all time, and I think everybody should enjoy that experience, especially if you're into Star Wars and you haven't played it before. It's available on the Xbox Store. I'm not sure if it's on the PlayStation Store. I'm not familiar with PlayStation. The Ahsoka show and The Mandalorian are both around the same timeline. So when this movie comes out for The Mandalorian, is there a chance we most likely will be seeing Ezra in that movie? That's a good question that I've been thinking about. And then vice versa, is there one way or another that the Mandalorian, which I think will happen, will make an appearance in the season 2 for Ahsoka? I mean, it's bound to be the situation. I mean, Thrawn has just come back, big new threat. Definitely not a pirate threat. He's not your average warlord either. He's definitely not a Moff Gideon, that's for sure. So when you take this into perspective, I mean, I really think we're going to see a gathering of the heroes, and if not one, both projects. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a great time. I mean, there's not too much I can really say. I just don't know too much yet, but I'm really excited about it. Before I go, one question I have, and if anybody wants to answer, feel free to leave it in the comments. Who would you take as the winner in the fight? HK-47 or two IG-100s? That's the General Grievous bodyguards. I'm going to give you my answer only because I'm really excited to share my thoughts about this. Not only does HK-47 win, but he probably wins in under 90 seconds. The electrical staff means absolutely nothing when you get hit with a shoulder charge at 45 miles an hour with nothing but pure HK Durasteel. That IG will be hitting the wall. The other IG is probably going to get his electrical staff taken from him, and then HK is probably going to shoot him a bunch of times with his blaster, and then probably still throw him into the other IG. And as he's walking off, he's probably going to say something like he always does. But I could be wrong. Convince me otherwise.